Welcome to the WVU Men's Basketball Chat on the dpost.com. I'm Todd Murray along with Justin Jackson, our WVU writer. And Justin, the Mountaineers heading into Waco, Texas in the Farrell Center on Saturday to take on number 19 Baylor. First meeting, not a pretty sight for the Mountaineers.
Yeah.
They were whipped pretty decisively by the Bears here in the Coliseum.
Yeah, it was 87-69, and really it probably wasn't even really that close. Baylor kind of used its rebounding advantage and got some points in the paint, and really the rebounds were 43-35 that game. They shot 55% and one going away. That was really kind of a downtime for WVU. They were coming off the 27-point loss to Texas. They had beaten Kansas State in between, but still not a lot of, their confidence wasn't really all that high at that point. And of course, they lost to Baylor, and then they also had the big losses to Iowa State, and it was kind of a bad time. They've turned things around recently, but that Baylor game was kind of one of the low points of the season for the Mountaineers. And Rico Gathers had 17 points and 17 rebounds, probably one of the biggest double-doubles against WVU in a while, and nothing went right for the Mountaineers that day.
Well, you look at both these teams, they're both riding three-game winning streaks, both feeling good about where they are as far as challenging Kansas for the Big 12 regular season title, and trying to get the best seed possible in the NCAA tournament. You got to figure both teams are really going to be going after it Saturday.
Yeah, both teams right now, I mean, if you look at the grand scheme of things, both teams are in the NCAA tournament. And so basically, essentially, they're playing for the best seed they can get in the Big 12 tournament and the best seed they can get in the NCAA tournament. I mean, both teams could lose the remaining games, and they're still going to get into the NCAA tournament. So there's really not a whole lot of bubble implications in this game, but a lot going into it. Baylor, if Baylor wins out, Kansas loses its remaining 3 games, Baylor could still win the conference title. West Virginia, obviously, if they go into Baylor on Saturday, and then they have a big, if they can win at Baylor Saturday, and if they can have a big matchup on Tuesday at Kansas, so I mean, if they somehow could win both of these road games, it could put West Virginia in the driver's seat for the #1 seed in the Big 12 tournament, especially since they had already knocked off Kansas here at the Coliseum. They would have 2 wins against Kansas, and that would be a pretty good tiebreaker against everyone else in the league. So there is a lot to play for in that aspect, and it can be a winnable game in the sense that West Virginia went to Baylor last year and won. If you remember, Jawan State hit the reverse layup with like 2 seconds left or whatever it was to win that game. So Baylor is, the Farrell Center is an arena they've had success with in the past. They've got to cut down on Baylor's making shots, and they got to try to stay in the rebounding game with Baylor. Baylor's one of the #1 teams in the league in rebounding, and Baylor also, they're giving up less than 60 points a game, which is #1 in the Big 12. And so you got to find a way to score, and you got to try to find a way to rebound. But they've had success there in the past, and hopefully, if they can keep drawing off the momentum they've created with these wins over Kansas and the wins over Oklahoma State, and obviously the win against Texas the other night, they can draw off that momentum. They could go into Baylor and play pretty well.
All right, we'll see how it all plays out Saturday. Justin, thanks for your time, and please continue to follow our WVU men's basketball coverage on the dpost.com.